Hi there, friend. Come on in, get cozy, and let's enjoy a soft, gentle story together. Whether you're sipping warm tea, cuddled under a blanket, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, you're exactly where you need to be. This story is for everyone, of every age. A little time to slow down, breathe, and feel something warm. Nestled in a sleepy village, surrounded by soft green hills and velvet skies, sat a quiet little street called Lavender Lane. It wasn't a place you'd find on a map, but those who lived there knew it well, a haven of wildflowers, songbirds, and window boxes full of sweet-smelling herbs. At the end of the lane stood a cheerful yellow cottage with ivy trailing along the fence and a swing tied to an old apple tree. This was where Mira lived, a kind-hearted girl with gentle eyes and a heart full of sunshine. Mira loved the small, quiet things. She collected pretty stones from the riverbank, kept tiny notebooks filled with pressed leaves, and always had a story ready for anyone who needed one. Her world was peaceful, and she thought her friendship with Lila was part of that peace. Lila had been Mira's friend since spring. She had a dazzling smile, knew all the popular songs, and always seemed to say just the right thing around others. She visited often, laughing as she lounged on the porch swing or flipping her hair as she told stories. At first, Mira loved having a friend like Lila, someone bright, someone bold. But over time, something started to feel off, just a little, like shoes that almost fit, but pinched just enough to notice. Lila would make fun of Mira's quiet hobbies. She'd roll her eyes when Mira talked about the forest or the birds. She didn't mean to be mean, or maybe she did, in tiny, hidden ways. But Mira wasn't sure, and that not sure feeling sat in her chest like a stone in a pocket. Still, she kept smiling, because Mira believed in kindness, and she believed, or wanted to, that Lila was a true friend. But this story, dear listener, is not about sadness. It's about learning, about blooming, about the magic that happens when we listen to the small voice inside us that says, I deserve gentle things. And oh, such gentle things are coming. The summer days passed with the hush of wind through tall grass. Mira spent her mornings gathering chamomile in her basket and her evenings writing letters to the moon, which she never sent, but always sealed with pressed petals. One afternoon, the sky was a soft silver, and the breeze smelled like mint and pine. Mira invited Lila on a walk through the forest path, her favorite place in the world. Sunlight filtered through the leaves in golden patches, and tiny wildflowers blinked like stars along the mossy edges. This place is okay, I guess, Lila said, looking at her nails. But it's kind of boring. I don't get why you come here so much. Mira stopped walking. She looked at the trees, tall, ancient, gentle. She looked at the stream that murmured secrets to the rocks, and she looked at her friend. Lila didn't see the magic. Or worse, maybe she didn't care to. Later, as they sat on a log eating honey biscuits, Lila leaned over and said, You know, sometimes I only hang out with you because you're so easy. You never argue. It's nice to not have to try. And just like that, as soft and sudden as a petal falling something inside, Mira changed. She smiled politely. She offered another biscuit, but in her heart, a tiny voice whispered, You are not easy. You are rare. That evening, after Lila left early, Mira took a walk by herself. Fireflies danced in the twilight. A fawn peeked through the trees. The forest was alive with quiet things, things that understood her. She sat by the water and let her toes dangle in the stream. I think, she said softly to the sky, it's time I let go. And the sky, so soft and blue and listening, seemed to agree. The next morning, the cottage smelled like warm bread and lavender tea. Mira's grandmother, Hazel, was in the kitchen wearing her patchwork apron, humming an old lullaby. Mira told her everything not in a rush, but slowly, like petals falling into a teacup. Hazel listened with kind eyes and gentle nods. When Mira was finished, Grandma took her hand and said, Sweet girl, some friendships are like springtime blossoms, beautiful, but not meant to last. And that's all right. The garden still grows. They spent the day together baking cinnamon rolls, dusting shelves, rearranging the teacup collection on the windowsill. Later, they painted rocks to place in the garden tiny things with kind messages. You are enough. You are light. You belong. Mira smiled more that day than she had in weeks. Not because someone told her to, but because she felt free. No more pretending. No more shrinking. That night, as she watched the stars from her bedroom window, Mira whispered, "Thank you," to no one and everyone. Weeks passed, soft and golden. Lila stopped visiting, drifting away like mist. There were no arguments, no tears, just space, gentle, necessary space. And in that space, Mira grew. She joined the village book club and brought wildflower bouquets to the bakery. She hosted a forest walk for the children, showing them how to listen to bird calls and spot fairy circles. She even made new friends slow, sweet friendships that felt like warm bread and honest laughter. One afternoon, as she watered her garden, a little girl stopped by with her grandmother. "Your teacup flowers are my favorite," she said shyly. "They look like something from a fairy book." Mira knelt down and smiled. "Would you like to plant one with me?" The girl nodded, and together, they nestled a tiny marigold into a pink porcelain cup. And in that moment, Mira realized something simple and beautiful. Kindness doesn't mean staying close to those who make you feel small. Kindness can also mean walking away softly and planting something better. Thank you for listening, dear friend. If this story made you feel a little lighter or gave your heart something warm to hold, I'd love for you to like, subscribe, and join me again next time. You are always welcome here just as you are. Until then, stay gentle and keep blooming.